BFS Wargaming. It's Patrick here with Dan. So we're going to play a game of Kill Team. It's Dan's first game. We're doing Necrons versus Drukhari. So we'll go through the kill teams, talk through those, and then we'll go on to talk about deployment. It's going to be, I think it'll be an interesting one. We've got a fair few models on the table for kill team. So obviously Drukhari, I've got more models than the Necrons, but yeah, it should be a good one. And we'll go straight in and start talking about the kill teams.
So we have four Necron warriors standard. We have 2 immortals with Tesla carbines. One is the leader, one is the comms, and we have 2 flayed ones. One is a zealot, and the other one is a combat specialist. So we have 2 Cabalite warriors and a Sybarite with splinter rifle. We have 2 Cabalite gunners. One has a splinter cannon, and the other one has a dark lance, who will be the sniper. So we also have 5 witches. One of them is a Hecatrix with an Agonizer, blast pistol, and phantasm grenade launcher. She is the leader specialist. Then we have 2 witch fighters. One is a combat specialist with Chardonnay and Pader. The other is a veteran specialist and has Hydra gauntlets. Then we have 2 a normal witch, a standard, and then we have another witch fighter with razor flails.
Okay, so we've got the board set up. We're doing recover intelligence, the match play mission, and so we've got deployment zone here and deployment zone here. We're going to roll off for strategic advantage. So Necrons get a 10 and Drukhari get a 7. So Necrons get strategic advantage, will deploy and come back. Okay, so Necrons are deployed back here, like so, and Drukhari have deployed over here. We're going to roll off for initiative. So Necrons get 6 and Drukhari get 4, so Necrons go first. Okay, so Necrons movement. These 2 have advanced over here. We've readied the 2 immortals and all of the warriors have moved up. Drukhari have advanced this witch over here, moved this one up here. 2 Cabalite warriors have moved up. The Sybarite's moved. The Cabal warrior with the dark lance. Yep. Dark lance is readied, and then these 3 witches have moved round to here towards this objective. Okay, so the comms specialist is going to fire down at the Cabalite with the dark lance. He gets -2 because of obscured and out of half range, but he's comms, so he's going to use that on himself, give him +1, and also he's using the Necron's tactic target subroutine, so he gets +1. So he's going to be hitting on 3s and 6s is going to prop the Tesla. 2 4s, so 2 hits, didn't get any 6s, and then he is toughness 3.
Yeah.
And strength 5, so 3s to wound, and that is 2 wounds. So there's no AP, so save and throw. 2. So here's a save and throw. So both are failed. So it's a injury roll. So on a 1, 2, or 3, it's a flesh wound. On a 4, 5, or 6, he is out of there. It's a 6. He is out of action. Okay, so my leader here is going to fire at the Cabalite on the right. It's -2 because obscured and out of half range. So going to be hitting on 5s. No hits. Okay, so I'm going to use this guy here to fire at the Cabalite on the right again. He's within half range, just get rapid fire, but he's -1 because he's obscured. So I'm going to be hitting on 4s. So I get 1 hit. And then he's strength 4, toughness 3, so wound on 3s. Yep, that's a wound. It's -1 AP. So 6, and he gets it. 6 up save. So okay, so this Cabalite here, he's got a splinter cannon. He's going to be firing into this Necron warrior here. He's -1 to hit because he's obscured, but he's within half range. So it's 6 shots because it's rapid fire 3. and our ballistic skill
3.
So he gets 3 hits.
Wounds on 4 up.
Yep.
Split weaponry.
Yeah.
There's 2.
So there's 2 wounds. There's no minus, is there?
No.
So it's a 2 4-up saves. So 1 saved, 1 goes through. So that means it's a injury roll, which is a 4, which means he's out of action. Okay, this Necron warrior is going to fire down at this Sybarite. He's within half range, but he's obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots, because it's rapid fire 1, and they're going to be hitting on 4s. So it's 2 hits, and then it's going to be wounding on 3s. 1 wound at -1 AP. So it needs a 6, so it's failed, so injury roll. A 6, he is out of action.
Which one's this one?
That's the Sybarite. Okay, so this cavalry on the left is firing down at this Necron warrior here.
That one then.
Yep, it's this one here. And so we're hitting on 3s. Oh, he's obscured, so hitting on 4s. Yeah. So 1 hit. And then wounding on 4. No wound. Okay, this Necron warrior here is firing into the cavalry warrior on the right and is going to be hitting on 5s, so it's -2, obscurity and out of half range, and he misses. So the cavalry warrior on the right is firing down at this Necron warrior. He's within half range but obscured, so it's hitting on 4s. Yep. And wounding on 4s. No wound. Okay, so that's the end of the shooting phase and the end of this turn, because there's no combat or anything. There's no morale to be taken. So basically the round up of the phase is the sniper with the Dark Lance got taken out over here, as well as the Sybarite, and we lost a Necron warrior here. So we're going to go into the next turn and we're going to roll for initiative. So it's 2d6. I got a 3 and Dan got a 5. So that is Drukhari to go first in turn 2. Okay, Drukhari movement. So the 3 witches over here have moved up with the leader. This guy's readied, and so is the splinter cannon at the back. This guy's moved up. These 2 have moved, well, 1 moved, the other one attempted to charge at this guy, but he retreated 3 inches and he didn't get the charge off. We just moved up to there. This guy's moved up, and these 2 have just moved round just to get a bit of cover, see if I can get some shots off. So we are going to go into the first part of the shooting phase. Okay, so this cavalry warrior with the splinter cannon is firing into this guy. So he's within half range, but he is obscured, so it'll be -1. So it's rapid fire 3, so 6 dice. And
1 hit.
1 hit.
That's
needed all them dice.
Terrible roll.
And then wounded on 4s. No wounds. Okay, so this cavalry warrior's firing into this Necron warrior back here. He's in rapid fire, but he's obscured, so it's -1. But so it's 2 dice, -1. So it's 1 hit, and then winning on a 4. No wound. So Dan is using a command point to fire and fade, so you can move up to 7 inches, is it?
Yep.
So he's moving around to here. So this guy is firing into this Necron warrior here, who's obscured. So rapid fire, so it's -1. So 4s, 2 hits, and then 4s, 2 wounds. Okay, so the save is no AP, so 4 ups. No, both fail. So it's one dice for the injury roll, because the other one's ignored. So 1 dice on the injury roll.
Why is the other one ignored?
Because there's only 1 damage weapon. So 3, so he takes a flesh wound. So the leader is firing into this cavalry warrior there. He's out of half range and obscured, but we're using the comms, +1 to hit, plus the target and subroutines. So he's hitting on 3s. There's 2 6s, so because it was Tesla, that means that they get double hit. So that means we'll have 6 dice for the wound rolls. Oh, just dropped one. So 6 dice for the wound rolls, and we'll be wounding on 3s. So 3 go through, get wounds. So it's 3 saving throws, no AP, so 3 5-ups. And he saved them all. Wow.
They're not rapid fire.
Okay, so this witch is going to fire a splinter pistol at this flayed one. So it's hits and then falls to wound. No wound. So this Necron Warrior is firing down at this guy. It's 1 dice and it's -2, so it's 5 to hit. He gets a 4, so he misses. So my Necron Warrior here is going to fire into this Cavalot Warrior. He is -1 because he's obscured. He's -1 because of the flesh wound. But he's in half range, so he's rapid fire 2, so it's 5s. So it's 1 hit, and then 3's to wound. 1 wound, -1, so 6 up. It's 3, so he fails, so injury roll. So 2, he gets a flesh wound. Okay, after all the shooting phase, there's no combat phase, so it's going to be the end of the turn. So round up, we took a flesh wound here, and took a flesh wound over here, and that was all that happened in terms of that. Dan, the Drukhari now on 4 victory points for holding the objectives, and the Necrons are on 2. So we're going to go into turn 3, and we're going to roll for initiative. So Drukhari get 4, the Necrons get 10, so Necrons go first. Okay, so this flayed one here is declared a charge on all 3 of these. Dan has decided to retreat this one back 3 inches, and he's going to overwatch. That was drop dice, right then.
Was it 3 inches?
Yeah. So roll your overwatch for the other guy. 2, no. And he's going to move that back 3 inches. Which is now going to make my charge around an 8. So I'm going to roll that. And I've got a 9. Readied. The Immortals moved this guy here. This guy, I don't know why he's got a charge token on because he's readied as well. So I'll change that. He's readied. He's moved. And he got into a charge over here as we saw. Drukhari moved. This guy failed a charge and didn't move. This guy's readied. This guy here is readied. This guy moved around a little bit. This guy retreated and these 2 have been charged. So we're going to go into the... Okay, so we're going to be firing with the leader. Down into this guy here again. Is obscured and out of half range, but we're going to use the Necron tactic and the comms guy to put him up again. So we're hitting on 3s. So we've got 6 and 2, but we get 2 extra hits for having the 6. So we're wounding on 3s. So we get 1 wound. No AP, so Dan needs to roll a 5 up. Dan? And he gets it. Okay, this Cavalot's going to fire into him, so he's got obscured. But he's in half range, so he's going to be hitting on 4s.
-1 for the...
Oh, -1, so he's going to be hitting on 5s, because he's got flesh wound. Good shout. So 1 hits, and then wound on 4s. Wounds, and then it's got a 3-up save. 4-up save, sorry. He does save. So this Necron Warrior is going to fire into this Cavalot Warrior here. He's in half range, but he's obscured. So it's going to be -1, so hitting on 4s. 2 hits, and wounding on 3s. 1 wound. -1, so it will be a 6-up save. So 4, so injury roll. So 2, so he takes a... I'm going to use a tactic to re-roll this. Gets a 1, so it's the same result, so he takes a flesh wound. So the Cavalot with the splinter cannon is firing at this guy here, so he's in rapid fire, but he's obscured, so he hit on 4s, so that's 4 hits. And then wounded on 4s. Gets 1 wound, so he's got a 4-up save. And he fails, so injury roll. He gets a 6, so that would mean I would reanimate. Would you like to re-roll it? Yeah. With a tactic? So he gets a 5, so he's out of action. So Dan's going to use Fire and Fade in this model and just move him around slightly. So we're then going to go into this Tesla Immortal firing here. So it's going to be -2 because of out of range and obscured. So it's hitting on 5. So 1 hit. It doesn't get Tesla because... He doesn't get Tesla because of the -1, the -2s. So then we're going to be wounding on 3s. Rolls a 1. No wound. So this guy is firing into this Necron Warrior. There's no obscurity and it's within half range, so it's hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wound on 4s. No wound. So this Necron Warrior is firing into here. Believe he's out of range and obscurity, so be 1 dice and hitting on 5s. Have a 4, so he misses. So this Necron Warrior is going to fight these two. He's a zealot, so he gets an extra attack and he gets an extra strength. So we're going to put 2 into the leader. No, actually I'm going to put 3 into the leader and 1 into the other witch. So this is the 3 dice into the leader, so hitting on 3s. So all hit. And then wounding on 3s and get to re-roll. So to re-roll that 1. So that's 4. There's no AP. So save and throw is what? On a witch is 4 up, isn't it? 4 up in bond. Okay, so 3 4 ups. 1 is failed. So injury roll. So 6. The leader is out of action. And then the 1 dice on the other witch hits with a 5, and then wounding on 3s, and it was a wound. So 4 up in vom. 6 is saved. So we're going to go into the fight back. So we've got 2 attacks with the fight back over here. So we'll be hitting on 3s.
Oh no, sorry. Bearer can make an additional attack with his blade.
Yep, so 3 attacks hitting on 3s. So 3 hits, and what you wound on?
It's strength 4.
And he's toughness 4, so 4s.
I was +1 strength for my combat drug.
Oh yeah, so 3s. So 2. So that's any AP?
No.
So that's 2 4 up saves. So make 1. So injury roll. So 5. He's out of action. Okay, so that was the end of turn 3. So round up. Shots got fired. I lost. I lost the zealot, but the zealot took out the leader. Other than that, there was a flesh wound put over there. I think I lost a warrior here actually as well.
Yep.
And then this guy's still got a flesh wound down here. So we're going to go into the initiative phase of turn 4. So we're going to roll the dice. Necrons get a 7. And Drukhari get an 8. So Drukhari to go first. Okay, these Capital Warriors shooting into this Necron Warrior here. Rapid fire.
Would be for 3s, but he's got a flesh wound, so it's 4s.
Yep. No hit.
I'll re-roll that.
Yeah, take a re-roll. No hit.
Still missed it.
So I'm going to return fire with this Necron Warrior to him. So he's obscured, so it'll be 4s to hit. So 1 hit. And then 3s to wound. He wounds, it's -1, so it's a 6 up save. Right, and injury roll, so he's already got a flesh wound, so on a 3 up, he's out of action. But I get a 1, so he's got 2 I'm going to re-roll that. Yeah, he is out of action. So this guy is firing into this Necron Warrior here, so he's just out. So he's hitting on 4s because he's got a flesh wound, so it's no hit. Okay, so the comm specialist here is going to fire at this guy with the net. He's going to use his comms and the target subroutines tactic, so it would be -1, but he's got +2 to his hit roll, so it's going to be hitting on 2s, Tesla on 5s. So I get 2 extra dice because of the 5, the Tesla proccing, and the 3 hits, and then we're going to be wounding on 3s. So 2 wounds, there's no AP, so you get 6 up in, what is it?
I think it's a 6 up normal save as well.
Yeah, so
Double check that.
do the roll.
6 up.
So it goes through. So that's 1 injury roll. It's a 4, so he's out of action. So the other Tesla Immortal here is going to fire into this other witch. It's got -1, so he's hitting on 4s. So he gets 2 hits, 4 and 5. Wounded on 3s. 2 wounds with a 6 and a 4. 2 6-ups. Doesn't save, so 1 injury roll. It's a 2. So he has taken a flesh wound. So this Necron warrior is shooting it. This Cabalite over here. So it's -2. And he's out of range from skewered. He misses. Okay, this Cabalite warrior does spin the cannon shooting over to here. So 6 dice with rapid fire. But he is obscured, so it's -1. And we've destroyed the scenery. So now he gets 4 hits. And then wounding on 4s.
So it's 2 wounds.
2 wounds, so I get 2 4-up saves. Fails both, so injury roll. So 2. Do you want to re-roll it?
Yeah.
So 3, so takes the flesh wound.
Still a flesh wound.
So this witch is 2 charges attacking the fade one, so it's 3 attacks hitting on 3s.
Yep.
So 2 hits and then wounding. So it's strength 5.
5, yeah, sorry.
So it's 3s. So 1 wound, 4-up save. Doesn't make it. I am gonna attempt a reroll. Still doesn't make it. Injury roll is a 3, so he takes a flesh wound. So we're gonna do a command point reroll of the injury roll. A 6, so he reanimates. It's a bit naughty, isn't it? So my fade one's going to fight back. He's a combat specialist, so he gets an extra attack. So 4 dice hitting on 3s. All 4 of them hit, and then he's going to be wounding on 3s. He re-rolls all failed, so he failed 3, and so he gets 2 through. So 2 4-up inbounds. 1 goes through. So injury roll is a 3, so it is a flesh wound. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna roll to see if it goes on. So on a 5, it does go on. Okay, so end of turn 4. Dan, we realised we didn't film it, but Dan has passed his morale test so far, but now he's got a break test because he's lost 5 models and he has 3 on flesh wounds. His highest leadership is 7. So 2d6, he needs to be under a 7 or equal to. So he's going to roll now. He got a 4, so 3 and 1. So he's passed his break test. And then we're going to move on to the nerve test. Okay, so we're going to quickly do the nerve tests for... So we'll start with this Cabalite warrior. So he needs a 1 or a 2 to pass. He gets a 5, he gets to re-roll because he's Drukhari. 5, no, so he's shaken. And then this witch over here, we'll just do the rolls, we'll do the shaking afterwards. So 3 gets to re-roll. 1, so the witch over there passes. And then this witch here, 2 passes. So we are gonna roll off for initiative to see who goes first. So Drukhari gets 7, and Necrons get an 8. So it'll be Necrons to go first for turn 5. Okay, so movement phase. Necrons readied here, readied there, and left this guy in combat. And then the Drukhari charged the veteran in there, the witch veteran, and then readied the model over there, and this guy over here is shaken, and the witch moved to there. So we're going to go into the shooting phase. Okay, so this Necron warrior is going to shoot. This guy is obscured, so he gets +1. So he's going to be hitting on 4s, but it's a rapid fire. So both hit, and he's wounded on 3s. 1 wound. So Dan's going to take a save roll of a 6-up. And he fails. So injury roll, he is out of action. So this Cabalite warrior is shooting into this Necron warrior. He is obscured, but he's within half range, so 6 dice hitting on 4s. So 2 hits. And then wounding on 4s, because it's poison. no wound.
Command point reroll.
He's going to command point reroll it. He gets a wound, so save on a 4-up. No save, so injury roll. 1, he takes another flesh wound. So it's on 2.
We use a stratagem to fire and fade.
So we're using the leader here. He's the only one I can see. To this cover right here, it's plus it's -2 to hit, but he's using target and subject in the comms. So hitting on 3s and 6 is Tesla, and misses both. I'm gonna command point reroll to hit, and still misses. Okay, so it's in the shooting phase because no one can see. So Dan's charge model here, he's got Hydra Gauntlets, so he's hitting on 3s.
Yep.
So he's got 3 hits. And then wounding, what's the strength?
5.
So wounding on 3s. All wound. So I've got 3 4-up saves.
-1.
Oh, -1, so goes through anyway. So injury roll is a 4, so he's out of action. Okay, so into the morale phase, Necrons need to take a break test, so they have to get under 10. So they do it, so they pass the break test. So Drukhari break test, it's got 10, so he is now broken. So we're gonna have to go into the nerf test for each model. So 1 dice. So there's a 2 that fails, re-roll. So he fails. So he's shaken. So keep on the count on him, and the other one over here. 3, re-roll. So he is shaken also. And then the witch is over here. So first one is fouled, second one, so he's shaken and the veteran doesn't need to take it. So we're gonna roll to see if it goes on. So roll. So on a 1, the game ends and Drukhari have won 12 points to 3. Although the Necrons are all not shaken, and Dan's only got 1 model that's not shaken, but I wouldn't be able to table him anyway this turn because of the fact that he has models that are hidden that I wouldn't be able to get to see, and he is so far ahead of victory points that I wouldn't be able to get enough objective markers to be able to beat him. So that's it. That's the end of the game. So even if it had gone on, Drukhari had won.
Well, hi, Dan here. After my first game of Kill Team against Pat, Drukhari versus Necrons, really enjoyed it. Very nice to win, obviously, and I think they've done really well. The small scale version of 40k and the modifiers work really well, so things aren't getting completely shot off the board straight away. I think I'll take less shooting next time and more close combat. The Drukhari seem to work well on the Kill Team board. Quite looking forward to trying the Death Guard or the mutants I've got coming from Rogue Trader. I think they'll be quite an interesting, fun unit to play. But yeah, really impressed with Kill Team. I think it's a very well put together game, and look forward to playing more of it and showing you more on the channel. So I'll see you in the next back rep. Cheers.